Hello everyone, welcome to the IEM Chicago European Qualifier Day 2 here on this wonderful Wisdom show. Snods.
Jack, how you doing?
How you doing, mate?
I'm doing well. Not the most amount of sleep I've ever had in my life, but we can make do with what we've got.
Yeah?
What about yourself?
I'm pretty good, man. You know, I'm ready. I'm excited for a good day of CS. Obviously, we had some wonderful games yesterday that went down. All best of threes. And we do have the recap of that there on screen as well with the brackets. We can give that a quick overview. And it was a pretty stacked day, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, obviously we're coming into the closed qualifier. Some of the teams making it through the open qualifier, some being invited, which means we are going to have some teams such as North, Space Soldiers, teams that are making it to the major qualifier, teams that are at these Tier 1 events coming through into this one as well, trying to qualify for Chicago. Obviously here in the EU qualifier, we have 2 spots up for grab, and in the NA qualifier, it's only 1. But yeah, long story short, we had North, or Ents really with the best run, Avantgarde as well towards the bottom end of that bracket there in the middle of it. Avantgarde beating out Heroic 2-0 with a 2-0 win over Gambit as well to now play Ents later on in the day. And then obviously Ents themselves 2-0 versus Space Soldiers, 2-1 win over North, and then they see themselves in the first upper bracket final playing for that first spot at Chicago, and then the lower bracket.
Yeah, and that is actually going to be our second game of the day as well, which we'll see which one of those 2 teams is going to get a spot straight away at Chicago. And obviously that's just a final best of 3 to decide who is going to make it, Ents or Avantgarde. But it's not the end of the run for either one of those teams if they get knocked down. That's obviously the point of the lower bracket. It'll be slotted in there. So let's talk about that lower bracket at first. And obviously that's where
now, isn't it?
The initial game is. I know, mate. You can remember what game.
I'm pretty sure.
We've got North versus Heroic.
Yeah, exactly. North Heroic and then Gambit versus the winner of Fragsters and Space Soldiers yesterday. Not sure which team won, actually. I think we were asleep at that point. Long story short, though, going into the qualifier, the lower bracket, you still have Gambit, North to play for that last spot, because it's either going to be Ents, it's either going to be Avantgarde to take the first spot, and then you have in the mix, say Avantgarde win, right? Ents, North, and Gambit all fighting for that last spot, so it's going to be heavily stacked.
Yeah, it is going to be a pretty hard-fought fight for whichever team does want to try and get through that lower bracket slog, obviously, for the second spot. That's going to be the harder crawl. A lot more games to be played, obviously. In the upper bracket, it's 3 best of 3s, and you basically netted yourself a spot at such a prestigious event that you're going to want to try and be at. If not, you have a slog to get through. And obviously these teams are starting their journey today, and that's what we'll be going through. Now, obviously, with our first game of the day then, Snots, Heroic versus North. Yeah. We were excited for this one. This is the one we sort of alluded to that could happen. It is what we've got served up to us.
Yeah, obviously yesterday when we had the schedule given to us with the game that we have here first off, Heroic versus North, we were excited, obviously. The Danish derby, there's rivalry there. These teams have just made the switch between Nico and, of course, Mertz, the AWP for the Star Rifler from Heroic. Obviously the AWP from North, and, you know, is there going to be that rivalries there still? Is there going to be a bit of resentment? Mertz to MSL, was he treated fairly? Was he not happy with how he was dealt in North? It's interesting to see. And then obviously now that Modi has his personal issues, he cannot attend the qualifier. He has his own issues to deal with. And with that, it means there will be the coach subbing in. Nasu, I believe it is. Nsubs is out on Twitter, but I believe his handle is Nasu. You know, I looked him up on HTV. He's had no games on HTV. Don't think he's ever played in a team before. He's obviously coached other teams. He coached Penta as well, I saw. But apart from that, there wasn't too much history in him actually playing. He's got the depth as a coach, but playing is a completely different ballpark.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting when we do figure out what's going on with that one. Obviously, a bit of a different roster, really, compared to what we initially thought would go down. A best of 3 for this one, though, Snods, as per usual. So the maps are going to be an interesting standpoint of it. And it'll be exciting to see where they actually do take this.
Do we have the veto?
Possibly.
Possibly.
Mate, we'll see.
We'll see. If not, we'll just try and wing it, right? What maps are we going to be expecting to see? We saw North play Train yesterday. That was one that they actually, well, got manhandled on, essentially. Ents basically winning, what, 16... Gosh, I'm trying to remember. It was 16-8, 16-7, along those sort of lines. That was a shame, though, yesterday. Obviously, the best of 3s we had, a lot of them were blowouts. And there you go. We do get the maps on our screen. So, Dusty banned from Heroic. Sometimes seeing Cash. Actually, North banning out Cash. That was a bit of a game of chicken. Who's going to ban out Cash in that one? Nuke banned from Heroic. Fair enough. Heroic looked very good. Oh, from North, sorry. Fair enough. Heroic looked very good on the map yesterday. Train pick from Heroic. That's probably with how poorly North looked yesterday versus Ents on that map. North, good picking out Inferno, a map which they're very strong on. Heroic looked human on that map yesterday. Yes, they won 2-0 versus Alliance, but that Inferno map was fairly close, 16-10, 16-11, I see. Overpass ban coming out from Heroic. Overpass is a very strong map for MSL, always has been. Cash ban from North, so that was the Gamer Chicken. Is it going to be the cash ban from Heroic, or is it going to be from North? Mirage is our final map. I think the veto favours North in this one. Inferno, Mirage. I think it's going to be 2-1 to North, just being trained on there, how poor they were yesterday. But then again, it plays into the whole idea of, you had a poor game yesterday, have you gone over your demo, gone over your issues, fixed those mistakes you made yesterday, improved from the match they had about 12 hours ago?
This is basically the same map pool we have had every single game of the qualifier. So
two of the best of threes out of the three we covered yesterday was this map pool, I'm pretty sure, or Nuke thrown in here or there. But it was also
you could sub out Inferno Mirage for Nuke.
Yeah, exactly.
That is the difference.
Or vice versa with Mirage.
Yeah, it was Mirage the second map. You had Train as the decider, and Nuke or Inferno as the opening map. So
exactly.
It's obviously it's been very vast. The map pool's been wildly different. Never would have expected
all those caches, all those dust twos.
Where they come
keeping us on our toes.
I know.
But yeah, no, I think the map pool's good. I think the map pool's better for North though. Coming into this one, playing as a coach, they're not going to have that same skill level with Modi.
Yeah.
On Inferno yesterday, if you remember, it was Modi with 17 kills in the first half. No one on his team had more than 10 kills at that point, pretty much doubling the person below him in terms of fragging ability. Going to be missing that on the server here today with their coach. And when you're playing maps like Inferno, maps like Mirage, where skill is a big factor, it has to be said, especially maps like Mirage. If your coach is playing, gosh, Modi was playing towards B short, I think it was yesterday, so we could be seeing mid defaults into B short splits, exploiting that factor from the coach there. CT side Inferno, if he's holding towards that B side, the coach is going to struggle trying to hold off executions and North themselves.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing. The better point is when you sub in a coach, at least he's someone that's been there, he knows the strategy, he knows the playbook, he knows where he can slot in and what role he does have to pick up around, right? But the issue you do have is that skill caliber, because Modi was playing out of his mind. He was having some great games. He always has been a Swedish superstar that can pop off. That's what he's been known for and why he's been around for so long. He has the natural born talent, and obviously it is going to be an issue. You need him there. If you don't have him, what are you going to do? Obviously, Asilian himself, you know, a little bit upset that he couldn't be here today, and obviously it makes sense. Obviously, feelings go out to Modi there, and hopefully we do see a good return, obviously, to the roster, because he is such a pivotal player.
It's a shame. It's a shame for Heroic, obviously, coming into this qualifier with the new player, Mertz, on their team. Let's be frank here, with the caliber teams here, Gambit and Space Soldiers, even North as well, even though they made the roster changes. Was Heroic expecting to qualify? Most likely not. I think they saw this closed qualifier more as an experience gainer, I guess, to try and get maps in officials with the new 5, with the new 5th, with their AWPer, and try and just get games under their belt. I don't think they were actually having realistic, expectations of qualifying with the caliber teams here at this event. Therefore, I don't see them being too upset with the loss here, and therefore I think it's a 2-1, maybe 2-0 to North. I still think they're going to edge it.
Yeah, I think when you're going to take it on paper for what it is, really, North for me are the favourite right now out of the two squads between the Danish sides. It could have been anyone's game. Obviously, if we had Modi here, it could have been a whole different story. Definitely would have been more of a stacked affair and a harder fought fight. But at least we're seeing a little bit more from North. We can try and gauge where they're going to be off the back of this, right? Because MSL was actually playing very good CS yesterday.
Was yesterday, yeah.
Individually, he was popping off pretty ridiculously. He was getting clutches, huge individual rounds, and a smart play style coming into effect as well, working around that IGL AWP, which is something that obviously we haven't been able to see too much from him because we've basically been Mertz in the spotlight. You needed to have him on the AWP. That was his primary designation. Now we can play a little bit more of his own style again. He can try and pick up the AWP, try and work that back into the team, and around the other stars they had, it worked quite well. Nico actually seemed to adapt quite nicely, and it all clicked.
What was so strange as well, Jack, to bring up the AWP onto MSL, was the fact that when Mertz was on the team, on some of the maps, it was easy secondary AWPing.
Yeah. And
now that Mertz is gone, MSL's taken up the main AWP. He was the tertiary AWP, I guess would be the phrase you would use for North prior, maybe towards the end of the team. I'm not sure what happened there. If the in-game leader, MSL, took over the reins there, taking it in his own stride. But yeah, I mean, long story short, we haven't seen MSL wield the primary AWP yet. So far, looked good. Obviously, more of a supportive role. He only opted on the CT side as well. That's something you have to bring up. On Train, there was no terrorist side AWP, which meant that, if you do have that spawn to peek lower B, for example, to see if the B anchor from the CT is jiggle peeking towards lower, to spot the cross to pop dog, if you get a spawn close towards T main, spot the pop player crossing from electric to get that frag early on, or just holding the stop sign angle to allow your T players to push up towards the site. Hold the left side of green train, stop the AWPer killing your teammates. There's so many angles as a supportive AWPer that you need to have, but I believe the game's going to be ready soon, so we're going to stop waffling very shortly. Don't have to worry about that one. But yeah, long story short, Jack, I think Heroic, if they're going to have one map in it, it's going to be on Train. Don't see it going any other way. And we have no HUD.
See, what you've done there, Snoz, you've thrown us in too early, and we've got no HUD now.
Well, I was worried we missed the action. I had to bring it up.
It'll be a HUD-less round. But we'll take it for what it is.
Yeah, well, it's going to be the T's. I imagine it's going to be North on the T's. No, North on the CT side, because this is the map pick from Heroic. So I guess it's Heroic on the T side, huddling up towards Beloa.
It's like a game of Guess Who, mate. So let's see who's going to go down. Oh,
it is Heroic,
though.
It is Heroic.
MSL's been domed, taken down. As the response is there from Nico. He's got no HUD, but he's still got fragging capability. Actually, no, he doesn't. He's dead.
Dead indeed. This is very hard to cast, actually. We have the mini-map now, Jack. We're spoiled for choice. As it's going to be the 2 versus 2. Freiburg towards heaven. Gets the frag with the P250.
So number 1 versus number 7 and number 8 here, Snot. Number 1 on the CT side. Going to try and defend it. Let's see if number 1 can win this. That could be number Wang as he tries to hold back. A little bit of console there as well to Teja. Oh, he's trying to Wanganum him as he stays alive. Slowly creeps his way back over.
The rolls are coming in. The Thunderball is number... Oh, so far number 1's looking pretty good to be the Thunderball here. The bonus there is going to be added on, but no, number 8's going to be the final roll. I was going to say have the dice, but no. What do they roll on when they do the... Is it bing? Really?
No. Well, yeah, you roll and you pull the numbers out. So
yeah,
it'll be like, you know, 2 1s, 11.
Yeah. You ever entered the lottery before?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Have you never entered the lottery?
No.
Why not? It's quite easy. Do we just not have a HUD?
So, coming into the second round, Valde with the... No, Heroic won that round. It was number 8, wasn't it? Number 8.
Number 8. Lucky number 8. Let's get it.
Number 8.
Oh, it's like being at the races, mate. Come on, lucky number 8.
More bets coming through. But yeah, we're not going to be betting this match as we are casters. But Heroic with the first round win. Going to be going up 1-0. Obviously, the question is, have North gone for the force bar? We don't know. But with the Deagle in hand here, probably going to have Kevlar to back it up.
They could have anything, mate. Literally. There could be an auto sniper out right now and you'd have no idea.
I would have no idea, but I highly doubt that with how the economy works in this game. Slow round, though, coming out from Heroic. They're waiting for the CT aggression to see if anyone from North's going to overstep the mark and concede their first frag and see if they can work off of that.
So a 5 versus 5. Let's see what they can get up to right now. Just a little bit of an it's kind of like a cinematic, mate. It's like you've taken the HUD off to... I feel like I'm watching Overwatch.
We need the theme music right now.
Yes, well, we get the music back on, turn the HUD off, it's esports. The damage is done, though, as the Mac 10, actually from the super sub, he's gone big, Snots. 3 fags round into the round as he just works his way through. The MP5 Oscillion coming into effect as well. Batters down MSL. And who's left? Lucky number 3. Who might this be? Who's this cheeky little digit?
They do say 3 is the liar's number, but let's see if that Deagle can deliver the truth. 1 versus... No.
Oh, it was Kirby.
Yeah, it was Kirby.
Well,
that's actually quite... Back onto us. That was quite interesting. That was quite a good experience.
Yeah. Did you enjoy that, mate?
Yeah, it was good fun. That was good fun. At Shanghai, the feed went down, so all we had to cast off was the monitors. And you could see like what sides people go into when they were flashed and when they died because they were upset. You could see their visual expression. They put their hand off their mouse. Had to cast off who was winning based off who took their hands off their mouse.
There you go.
It was interesting, yeah.
What if they just play one-handed?
At that point, just say fair play.
God help them.
Yeah, fair play, fair play.
Fair enough, yeah. Well,
it's 2-0 right now to Heroic.
We'll get the HUD back and we'll get back briefly. For the meantime...
There's not too much to think about, is there, really?
I mean, that was a close round.
It was fairly... No, it wasn't really. It was 1 versus 3 at the end there. KRB tried his best towards Connector, but yeah, 2-0 in favour of Heroic here. Winning their terrorist side, pistol on their map pick as well. Also
HUDless
crucial.
as well, mate.
HUDless as well. I'm sure they've got the HUD. But yeah, I think if you win your T-side pistol on train, you're also going to get off to a good start on the map itself. If they can get 6 rounds, you know, 3 buy rounds after the conversion rounds, they'll be looking good.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably would, yeah. We'd never know, though. We'd never be able to see the cash. We'd never see how good they're looking.
Exactly. We'd have to...
It's the risk.
Estimate it.
It's like a memory game. You just have to guess.
Do you know what I heard? Back in the day, I think it was Source. Was it Source where it didn't show how many players survived after each round you won?
What do you mean?
Like say you win the rounds. Now when you press tab, right, you can hover over the bomb plant.
Yeah,
how many players
that wasn't even in CS:GO for a while.
Yeah, exactly. I heard that Existence used to write down how many players survived after each round.
Some people did. People had like notes on everything back in Source because you had like the set spawns. Set spawns were cool because you could.
I heard about that. It's like it rotates it 1 in every 4, right?
Yeah, so you knew like if you got the B rush spawn, you'd know how to counter it. Stuff like that. Spawns were good. Set spawns were fun.
I guess it reduces RNG, randomness, adds to it. Yeah,
bring them back.
Bring it back.
Bring back the set spawn. Bring back the HUD as well. Whilst we're at it, whilst we're working through the list.
Just asking for too much here, Jack.
I know. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking.
He's such a diva. He's such a diva.
I just wanted to be able to see he was alive.
Yeah.
Good start to the morning.
Yeah, it's
nice
early rise. Early rise.
The early CS misses the worm.
Yeah. All the kills.
Yeah.
We didn't get the kill thing, that saved us.
Yeah,
that would have been quite fun. If there was no... Imagine how ambiguous you'd have to cast that. Someone's died. Someone's died at the B-bomb site. Wow, what a great play from...
this guy. These guys.
Inside banter. Oh, dear. These guys.
These guys.
Yeah. More of that.
And more of that.
Wow.
And he's got the better of him.
Yes.
So welcome to the Early Morning ESL podcast.
This is where I hope we hear going to a break, but I haven't had that yet.
No, Snuts.
No, we haven't.
No, this is us for the next 4 hours. This is your regularly scheduled programming. HUDless CS.
It's all just a simulation. It's all coming into fifth gear now.
It's all crumbling. Yeah. It's these simulations finally started to lose power.
Oh gosh, yeah, this is where it's going wrong.
Yeah, this is where the issues start to crop up, Snuds.
Exactly, I'm starting to realise that we're all in a simulation. UKCS is coming to the forefront this year. You heard it here first. Probably not, though.
Tis the smooth year.
Tis the endpoint.
Yeah, tis the endpoint, lads.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, this is good. Still no word. We're not waffling for no reason. We would love to get you back into the game as soon as possible.
I imagine Twitch chat right now is casters start the game. Casters get off screen.
What are they doing?
What are these casters doing?
I'm trying to fix the HUD.
Yeah, 1 sec, guys.
Let me just reboot.
Yeah,
it'll all be good.
So,
wow.
Yeah, enjoyed Poland so far?
Yeah, it's good, mate. I like Poland.
Yeah, it's been good.
Too bad.
Good. Those drinks yesterday were good.
They were
Apple juice and that vodka. That was very nice.
That's what you need.
Yeah, exactly.
Good little refreshing day after the long day of work.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And then plugged back in.
Plug back into the Matrix.
Still here.
Still here.
Still here, of course. Wow. Should we have a look at the bracket?
Can we look at the bracket?
I don't know, mate. Do you want to?
I'd love to look at the bracket.
Can we look at the bracket?
The bracket, please.
Hey,
there we go. So, on the B stream right now, Gambit versus Space Soldiers. I wonder if those
do they have the HUD?
Do they have the HUD? Maybe
have they stolen our HUD?
Maybe there was an update, Jack, and that's the reason why everything's come crashing down.
Wait, what day is it? Is it Wednesday?
It is. No, it's not. It's a Friday, isn't it?
I thought update day was Wednesday.
It's Friday the 24th.
Oh, no, it is update day, because it's always the day before iSeries.
That's true. Maybe the updates mess things up.
Possibly. They should really stop scheduling that LAN over the updates.
I know, it's quite an issue.
Yeah. Every time.
Shout out to all the people playing at Insomnia and Gamescom as well. That's going on as well at the same time.
There's a lot of CS. There's a lot of things going on. A lot of esports this week. It's a busy.
Do you know what?
TI.
There's TI on right now. There's the Zotac thing in Hong Kong. Zotac Masters. There's the Chicago Qualifiers. There's TI, as you said. There's Insomnia. Copenhagen Games usually on. No, as in like during the same time at iSeries during February. That's the clash that happens during the start of the year.
It's all go, mate. It's all CS
go.
Busy time. Yeah, CS gone is the HUD.
So, obviously, Gambit versus Space Soldiers. Who do you reckon wins that one, Jack?
Gambit versus Space Soldiers. It's interesting. You know what? I'd actually kind of like to see Space Soldiers get through, just because I do find their playstyle very interesting. I've always been a fan of Gambit and think they can be pretty useful, but I don't know. I think that's going to be a close affair. If Space Soldiers get through, I reckon they do have a chance. The two teams that I thought were going to get through overall would have been ENCE and Space Soldiers.
ENCE, really? Over North?
Only because of what we saw at the Minors. And I think they've still got more to show from that.
Yep.
And obviously, as you said with the Alu situation, he felt as if, you know, they were over anti-stratted because of sort of the fact they've shown a bit of flair, they've shown a bit of pizzazz.
Yeah, the best of 3 win over Mouse Sports, 2-0 win there. And obviously because that teams were doing their homework, expecting or anti-stratting, as you said, going into the minors. They didn't make it to the major qualifier. North of the major qualifier. Space Soldier, the major qualifier. So on paper, maybe they're the favourites to make it through. Actually, speaking to the other cast as well, Risk and Geet. Yep, Geet. I think they expected North and Space Soldiers as well. So Ents looking good so far. Avangard as well. So one team that we didn't expect to be in the upper bracket final going to be there already. Yeah,
that's the crazy thing for Avangard as well, is they've 2-0'd the whole run so far. They haven't even had a hard time. They've looked pretty happy with it. So obviously for Avangard, that's a good affair. I didn't think they'd make it that far to the upper bracket, and they've had a good display. We have the HUD. The HUD is back. We fixed it.
Wow, it's back. Technology's here.
It's a little bit zoomed in.
It is.
It is a little bit zoomed in.
That's fine. We can work with that. We can definitely work with
that.
I'll
take it. Oh, now there's 2 HUDs.
Oh my God, there's
Things are getting out of hand. Now there's 2 of them. General Kenobi.
The HUDs. And we will be back in greater numbers. Oh dear.
This will make a fine addition to my collection. It's just become Star Wars quotes again.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, same. I love Star Trek Galaxy.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Lord of the Rings.
Reference game on point.
Exactly. Well, we do have 2 HUDs now, so that's still better than 1, but obviously now we just can't see anything. So we're getting that fixed, probably.
Ah, dear.
Luckily, the game has been paused.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say that would be an issue.
Imagine that. Just going, can you guys pause? Why? Oh, there's no HUD. Why can't we play? No HUD, boys. My bad, there's no HUD.
It is a shame. It is a shame.
Because that was a good start for Heroic as well.
I know.
That's actually going to ruin the tempo.
Exactly, yeah. Obviously, when you start chaining those rounds on your T side, you want to keep the momentum going, switch up the pace, faster set rounds, slower pace tactical rounds as well to try and catch North off guard. It's going to be interesting to see how many SMGs they have. Just 1 Mach 10 on 2 Freiburg. So it's not as if they have, like, you know, MP5s, UMPs, where we're expecting like a B rush in the first buy round, maybe as like a bonus round. He's opening up Battle.net. Maybe he's got his wild dailies.
He's got World Quest.
I need my 7th Legion rep, mate.
Man, you got to get that honor bound rep.
Yeah, Champions of Azeroth. Get your necklace. I level up.
To be fair, Champions of Azeroth is the actual. That's the rep you want to get.
I know. It's your necklace.
Yeah, but it's also the hardest rep to get right now because there's the least world quests for it. Wow. So the idea is you get a contract with Champions of Azeroth.
Yeah.
Do all the world quests, and that's how you gain the rep for it. Because then Magni gives you the upgrade. Wow, talk.
Wow.
Hopefully we'll be back in soon. Still getting that HUD calibrated. We've been here for like 20 minutes.
We've got 1 HUD now. We've got 1.
We've got 1.
Okay.
Just the 1, please, mate.
Just 1, please, boss.
It's like putting, you know, coats into a cloakroom. Just the 1, please.
That's very true. That is very true.
Well, hopefully we can start, because it does seem like we're in game.
I don't want to jinx it, though.
Look,
last time we said this, more HUDs appeared on the screen.
I'm not saying anything, but all I'm saying is we're in game. The console's open, but maybe once that's gone,
we're halfway.
We could be there. We've got rid of 1 of the HUDs. We've now got 1 HUD. Before we had none. That's an improvement.
It is an improvement indeed. Yeah, so if you're just tuning in, basically there's an update or something, and it's messed with the HUDs, it's messed with Counter-Strike itself, and because of that, we have a little bit of a delay, just trying to fix that, get the HUD working, get the broadcast ready to go live and carry on with the matchup. Currently 2-0 in favor of Heroic. They won the pistol towards B. They won the, versus the Force Spy of North. And now they're 2-0 up versus an Eco.
Yeah. Risks under the desk. Just, you know, plugging things in.
Yeah, exactly.
Geet's over there.
Geet's over there.
Yeah.
He's behind the broadcast. He's just
Geet is the broadcast.
He is the broadcast.
Tis the Observer lad.
And Risk is under the table right now sorting out the HUD.
Come on, Risk. Has he fixed it? Is it done? I feel teased because I look at the monitor and it looks good. Everything looks fine. It looks ready. And then nothing happens. And it's quite sad.
Soon.tm.
Possibly.
Possibly.
I don't know. I don't know what to say at this point, Snos.
Yeah, it is difficult because now that we had a laugh, do you go back into serious talk? Oh. Do you want to relay that information?
It sounded like soon.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Was that what it was?
30 seconds.
There we go. Nice. Well, that's good.
Exactly.
Wow. Well, there you have it, guys. North versus Heroic. We're going to be getting back into the action briefly.
Well, not briefly. Hopefully for a couple of hours, but soon.
Well, mate, don't
jinx
it. Don't jinx it.
Don't jinx it, yeah.
We'll have a brief couple of rounds. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, no.
He's still putting in commands. I'm scared.
I'm so scared.
I feel like it's been 30 seconds.
Nah, it's been about 15. It's been about
15 seconds?
Yeah.
It's about 15 seconds left, guys, until we get underway with this one. I mean, the thing is, we would have things to talk about, but we have 2 rounds with no HUD.
I know, it's not as if it's at the halftime break where we can talk about the first half, the 15 rounds. We didn't even see the pistol because we couldn't see the minimap. And
lucky number 8. Who was number 8?
Who was number 8? S-Tag.
Hang on.
Wait. No, it wasn't S-Tag.
Was it?
Yeah, it was Valde. He was in the 1 versus 1. We're live. Jack, we're live.
Because Kirby was number 3.
He was number 3.
We are live. We are back in. Game. There we go. We're back. That was good. Right then, back to our regularly scheduled program in Snods in this Wondrous Wisdom show. Let's kick it off. Oh, no. Oh, bloody hell. That's enough of that. Right, let's get back into the action for real this time. Heroic versus North. Heroic over on the T side. If you are just joining us, we are 2 rounds in, and we're now able to get back underway. They do have the buy, obviously, to play with, Snods. You've got the 5 AKs, the 1 Mac 10 on the Mac Daddy himself, Mr. Freiberg.
Early frags in the favour of Heroic. Obviously, this is the eco coming through, so any frags that the CTs can find will just be some bonus cash to work with. Maybe try and find an exit frag, get a weapon to carry over to the next round. Best case scenario. But Kirby with the 1 frag onto S-Tag. But apart from that, 3-0 lead here for Heroic. Mac 10 not going to be saved. Instead, Freiberg going to be dropping over the AK to a Cillian, which means AWP dropped by N-Sub. The coach for Heroic, obviously, if you missed the prelim before the game actually started, we spoke about the fact that Mori has personal reasons that he can't attend the qualifier here today. Therefore, they have their coach, N-Sub. That's Heroic subbing in for today. So, into the matchup then. AZ, close in towards Pop Dog, has the backup as well of Valde, as we see a very aggressive setup here from the CT side early on.
And Majak's online. So that's good. 5v5. Bit of a slow round so far in terms of the tempo. Minute and 20 on the clock. The York is out on MSL on the CT side. Now, he was playing a very defensive style with it yesterday. It did look effective, though. One and done angles. He was able to get the initial pick. He would fall back and try and play the crossfires to support his team into the late round. Matt, he's also online. And let's see if MSL can deal some damage into this one. Once again, a Cillian with a fast face goes out, takes down Valde. There is the response from AZ, though, leaving him the 4 versus 4. This could favour the T's if they get the map control. Freiberg, a little bit of an interesting shot, but nevertheless, he does get the kill on AZ Snods, and the cracks are starting to show.
4 versus 2. Heroic looking good here so far on the terrorist side, able to just waltz right through T main. Thanks to the entry from a Cillian. Now you can argue that North should really be throwing in the towel here and going for the save into round number 5. Concede this one. Allow Heroic to get to 4-0 on the scoreboard. And if they save as well, they are going to have a $2,900 round loss bonus after losing 4 in a row. So Kiabi is going to have $3,000. Won't have the important $3,100 to be able to drop over an M4. Nico as well is going to be $150, just short. So it might be just an eco, maybe a quality buy, maybe Kiabi, Nico can drop over UMPs or CZs, Deagles, allow for a light investment into some utility, some light Kevlar as well, and then from there, should be the buy once again. It's round number 6 once it goes 5-0, and we're back.
Hello, everyone.
I guess you just missed us.
Welcome back again. Well, that was a good round. Obviously, as I said briefly, we got a round out of it, so that was quite nice.
Yeah, no, Heroic obviously now 4-0 up. They won the first buy round. They've won the pistol as well. They're off to a good start. Their cash as well is going to be going in their favour. I think they had 4 or 3 players staying alive, so right now it's all looking good for Heroic. Oh, and we are back into the action, Jack. So, all ready. It's going to be the quality buy coming out from North. Kevlar CZ from Valde. CZ's Deagles from AZ and MSN, and obviously the saved weaponry from the last round from both Kiabi and Nico. So Should be the 5-0 here when you look at the buys in Tangent.
There we go then. Ooh. Very early dink there, going to bring down the super sub of Heroic to quite low HPs, then finished off as well by AZ's Deagle, leaving him in the 3 versus 3. AZ trying to carry on, and his Warpath gets the follow-up frag on towards Mertz as he's laid down the law of that big iron that was on his hip, and it's all down to MSL in a 1 versus 2 situation. Trying to creep through the smoke, but second guesses against it, and holds for the meantime. 50 seconds on the clock. They have the bomb on Adam Freiberg, as he will push up towards the bomb train, Snods, as we hit the 40-second mark.
CZ going to be rattling off the first shot there. Nice little quick double dink onto Esatag, but 1 kill is all MSL will receive. So, 5-0 in favour of Heroic, as anticipated after they won the first buy round. It's the point where MSL and the boys on the CT side defense really need to kick it into 5th gear. AWP for Mertz, AWP for MSL. Quite the new storyline we see. Obviously, the old narratives of the Danish AWPers. Vice up against Yugi. And now we see Mertz up against MSL. This is an interesting one all in its own. So, early B upper control going to be held by Heroic. Pop Dog in the favour of AZ as well. And what this does mean is with these 4 positions from North, obviously towards Ali, towards Pop Dog as well, having Valde playing towards the default site, it means they can have the additional player towards the B site. That's going to be MSL. And with Heroic stationed now towards the B site, lining and pinning their grenades, having the extra player here could be the difference maker.
Early entry comes through. They backhand Nico and get him out of the equation very early on. The ex-Heroic man is done and done. Push comes through, trying to do even more damage as Mertz will be able to readjust, finds the shot onto Valde. Kirby and Co have to well, this retake, if possible. Now just biding their time, set up, slowly going to encroach ever so slightly forward. AZ with a nice reaction does find the sub, and it is back into a 3 versus 3. It's a winnable round for either side here, but they have to try and defend the bomb if the T's want to pick this one up. They retake on their own bomb site. As Cillian loses out against AZ. Mertz in an elevated angle, but they bounce past him. Tries to react. He's a little bit confused about what's going on right now, Stones, but it's too late. Kirby might have got the kill, but he isn't going to be able to get the defuse. He tries to back out to stay alive at least, but the bomb blast barely tags him up. Instead, will kill Esatag, but Heroic get another round. That's now 6 on the board as they're rapidly racking them up on the T side.
Deja vu to what we witnessed yesterday with ENCE versus North. North on their CT side. I think they went down 12-3, didn't they, versus ENCE? So, in terms of the CT side, hasn't looked good yesterday, and it's not looking good right now, Jack. They even had the additional player there, MSL towards B upper. They've got push coming in towards Ali from KRBS, full info towards Ali. He's even pushed it just a little bit as well to peer in towards the bins there. You then have Valde pushed in towards Pop Dog, so his own information towards the A site as well. You have the additional player of MSL towards Heaven, yet they still lose the first player. They still cannot slow down the pace from Heroic. Heroic get the bomb planted, and in that retake, it all comes down to time. Mertz for the 1 versus 1, pretty much won it. Just off of the back of the clock on the bomb. But once again, speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Mertz with the first frag onto Valde as it goes 5 versus 4. Burning Kevlar now to 3 of the players from North.
All sorts of commotions, Nuts. At this point, the 4 remaining boys in blue on the side of North are going to just spread themselves thin, just playing these angles, hoping to at least get something out of the round, really. They've got armor. They've got the upgraded pistols. They might as well try their luck if anyone does come their way. Grouping up for possibly a late round take here towards the B bomb site. They could try and take that pop control, though. Staring towards it right now, holding to see if they're going to go for the angle, but obviously it's a risky affair. You drop down, that's where the pistol's going to be at its most useful. So they do deviate from that, going towards the B bomb site. MSL up close and personal with the Deagle, needs to lay out 50 caliber rounds of pain, but instead he is the one that gets put into an early grave. Nico responds though, digs down on Mertz, gets the adjustment shot, 3 easy taps, but unfortunately no further frags found.
No further frags found indeed, and so far from Heroic, 4 players staying alive into this one if they can make it out with these remaining players. Only Mertz to go 6 feet under. So in terms of cash, we're going to start seeing $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 come out for Heroic, where North are going to have to be chaining rounds together if they want a chance. Drawing out an eco. No diffuse gear here for Kiabi, but even then, we've got S-Tag towards the ramp. Going to be dispatching of Kiabi, 7-0 as we head into the 8th round. And now, another buy round, and the 3rd one at that. Heroic have basically walked out of team main in the first buy round, just out-aimed North in that one. Gone for a B execution in the 2nd round. Got the entry towards the B site, 5 versus 4. Retake did not go in North's favor. And now in the 3rd buy round, what do they change? Do they go for an aggressive pick here? We're going to see MSL's AWP get aggressive. He's going to peek towards B upper, for example, try kill Heroic as they take B upper control. And actually, I feel like he may be going for that exact set play. S-Tag may be walking into the trap.
All goes for the fast face. MSL trying to up the tempo a little bit. He needs to. That slower defensive style of AWPing that he's been bringing to the table, they know about it. They've got their number to try and counter it, and they haven't been walking into the trap. They haven't sprung it once. This time, he makes the initial play, gets the first frag, falls back, and doesn't stick around too long to risk giving away that early lead.
Once again, though, Heroic grouping up outside the B site. Valde, though. Good rotation in through connector, going to be coming in behind the default site. Molotov as well will delay Heroic momentarily. The reason being as well, once again, AZ in towards Popdog. Grants so much information for North. They have early information for early rotations if they want to go back towards the B site or the A site through connector, with having AZ in such a forward position. So, down the man early. They have the utility to work with, though. As a flash comes in towards lower. Ooh, he just spotted a feet there, and Valde able to pick up one. But did he see the bomb?
Does he realize everyone else is there, grouped up, ready to go for this play? AZ as well. Close towards Pop, just staring up there, looking into the skyline. Is he ready for the oblivion that might be coming towards him? Everyone is poised in position. They're setting up, deciding how they want to take the rest of this round. This is the first time Heroic have really been in quite an awkward position with 15 seconds remaining as well. No real chance to do too much. They're just going to decide to go for the save from this point. Just hold and let the round tick over. AZ shouldn't go for a push. They don't have much cash at all, Snods, so it isn't worth it. Most likely just going to try and go for the save here, and this will be the stalemate for this round. But North get their first one on the board.
They do indeed. 3 players surviving as well. So in terms of money, it's not that situation where, you know, 1 player survives, they lose that round, and it's pretty much GG. Instead, if they lose this round, AZ, Kiabi, Valde, even Nico as well could buy, so it's not going to be the worst for wear just yet. As we do head into the 9th round, it's going to be AWP for Mertz. They tag up then. Not sure what that was. Maybe HE grenades in towards team main or a leg through by MSL. Freiburg on his lonesome towards Ali, going to be taking control here to try and force KRB back towards the back line. So maybe try and keep 4 players towards the A site if Heroic want to go for a late execute towards B. And again, each and every round, AZ able to get in towards Popdog. At what point do we see the double Molotov, the double HE grenades towards Popdog to try and deny the play? Or the big balls peak from S-Attack to just fight fire with fire and go for the raw peak with no utility. And with that, 5 versus 4 North. If they lose this round, Jack, their round loss bonus is back to $1,400.
That's the awkward part for them. Even though they did win the prior round, they still build nothing from it. The economy's always going to be weak, especially on a reset round like this, so it could really come back to bite them twice as hard. Kirby attempts to make the play, pushes out the timing, could be perfect though, spots out Freiburg and gets the kill. The bomb was down there as well, so it falls back into the 4 versus 4. It's more of an equal situation now for either of these two sides. A little trade of bullets as well, a flurry of shots coming out. But the true play from Valde could be the bigger picture. There is a man in Popdog just lying in wait. S-Tag is there. He's only at about 50 HP as well, so he could be taken down quite easily. And the info is going to be relayed. Valde peeks out, gets 2 kills as he tries to build from it. The call's only just come through. S-Tag flicks back round, but it's too late, Snods. This one man has decimated the entire team, and it falls into a 1 versus 1. Ascillion versus MSL. He's got 7 seconds. MSL just needs to hide. He's going to get the bomb down. He had the time. It was 4 seconds. He gets the plant, but the nade dunks him, and the server dies. Oh no, it comes back. 2 to 7. MSL, the HE grenade.
able to finish the job. So, 2 rounds, 1 in a row for North, but they're still down 5 rounds against Heroic. And Heroic still have cash to play with in North. Once the buys and the drops do come through, let's see then. $3,000 for Valde, $3,000 for Nico as well. The cash is still susceptible to being reset by Heroic, and that's their main focus here. It's their last buy rounds. They have Galil onto their coach N-Sub, CZ onto their in-game leader, Cillian, for the AWP here for Mertz. But this time, they're once again 4 players stacked towards the B half of the map from Heroic, as they're going to be peering in towards the scope of MSL. But it's going to be the bait setup from Nico that actually does come up top trumps towards B upper. But a 1-for-1 trade, Jack, for the CT side may not be worth it.
Might not be indeed. And you can also see still 3 players towards that A site. Dubious, not 100% sure if it is going to be a true play towards B just yet, but here comes the cavalry. They burst their way in, thunderously stepping their way forward. MSL trying to defend still with the AWP, eventually comes into play as he gets the shot off on Freiburg. Cillian also hits the deck with a backline attack from the super sub, but he's out of ammunition. Snods at the reload, the Galil, and unfortunately pays the price because of it. Slain by Valde, giving North a 3rd round.
Now this should be the eco coming out from Heroic. So this is the round for North where they can start to farm up the cash. $3,000 across the board now for them onto a few players. If they win this one convincingly, say 4, 5 players staying alive. They have no SMGs, but it's all about the round win bonus. 3.5k each, so we could be seeing $7,000, $6,000 aggregately across the board here. So far, off to a good start. Just going to be Deagles for the side of Heroic, as they're going to be walking into the crosshairs of North one by one. Easy pickings here. I was going to say for the Danes, but this is a domestic matchup.
They're all Danish.
They're all Danish. Well, no. Well,
The majority of them are Danish.
Well, Freiburg. I think Nasu or N-Sub might be Finnish. I might check that now, actually.
Do you research, man? Citation needed.
Yeah.
But Heroic, off the back of the eco, do have the cash to reinvest once again to try their luck with the AKs.
From Finland.
He is from Winland.
Winland. Round number 12. Quick anti-eco from North. So now they're the ones with the momentum on their side. Nico going to be playing passive towards the B side this time. You could argue that's because he has the utility now to go for the retake. Before, when Heroic went towards that B side, he was playing close towards the ramp because he knew he needed kills. As they didn't have the abundance of Molotovs, smokes, defuse gets to warrant a good chance in a retake, but now they do. So, AZ no longer in towards Pop Dog. Instead, North get their aggressive gaze in towards Team Main. MSL, Valde, the tag team towards Blue Train and towards Sandwich. So, Freiburg here with a smoke, Molly, Flash. So we can smoke towards the back lines, which he's doing now. Molotov towards Green Train. And then Flash, if he really wants to, and AWP off the angle. And what that does is it forces back the CTs towards the site and may cause a rotation from B towards A to keep 4 players here.
Cillian and Freiburg going to be working together as a little squad here. Push their way up through Ivy. Get the backstab on Kirby if they're lucky. The flashbang will allow to go for the peak, but Kirby turns on him. Gets that initial kill on Freiburg and the double down as well. As Cillian is done for. Tries to make it the triple. Couldn't quite muster it up. Hazy, a little bit spooked by the bullets that are whizzing by him. All of a sudden, Snods, it's just S-Tag that remains at a 1 versus 3. Not the best position to be in, especially when your leg's sticking out, so he just gets shot in the kneecap. And that is going to be another round for North. Almost equalizing now, Snods, as we get to a 5-7 scoreline. And finally, a pause comes back in.
5 rounds lost in a row for Heroic, so I imagine it's going to be the pause from them. And with that pause as well, what can they change? So far, they've only got 7 rounds on their T side, though, Jack. I would be very content with that alone. If they can get to 8, even 9 rounds as well, they're really going to be pushing their luck. So, what would be their game plan to try and deliver 9-6 at the half? So far, the B site's been very effective for them. even when North had 2 players there, they were still able to come in towards the site, get the entry, and win in the afterplant scenario. We've seen them go heavy towards Ali, but they've been walking into the crosshair of Kiabi, and he's a player that yesterday was probably the best player North had, alongside of MSL, actually, surprisingly. So, might see them go for Ivy control, pop dog control, fall back to a late execution towards the B site. That could be very effective. Maybe an early execution towards B as well to avoid late round utility. Maybe late Molotovs if North still had them left, so they could do that to catch North off guard. But let's see, as the round does go live. In terms of weaponry, MP5 for Freiburg, but apart from that, AKs across the board for the T side. 3 smokes, 5 flashbangs to try and get this round going in their favor, and right now they're going for the fast set play towards A.
Bursting straight out, AZ with the instantaneous double, as this man is just a king of slaughter, but there is still response. Sicilian able to manhandle MSL and keep this pain train going, but can he carry on the annihilation? Snods finds the headshot on Nico, but the response is there as Valde peeks out, playing a little game of demonic peekaboo, but it will actually be Kirby that wins it in the end. Still another round for North. This constant win streak shows no signs of slowing down.
Almost thinking about Inferno after seeing Heroic go 7-0 up on their T side. Instead though, round number 14, 6-1 in a row for North, and with that they've now got only the 1 round disadvantage at the 14th round. MSL, aggressive, gaining confidence behind that sniper in his newfound role. Quasi-buy for Heroic, as all they have to work with is the Deagles, CZs, Kevlar as well, onto a few players backed up by light utility. I mean, smoke flash across the board, but losing N-sub early towards team main may make things a bit more awkward if they're trying to go for a fake towards team main and Pop Dog and have 3 players burst through alley. As Kirby's here up close, and he's going to be hearing them throw their grenades.
Kirby, armed, just lying in wait, ready to try and annihilate with the AK. Let's see if he can rack up 3 heads to the tally. As the push is going to come in eventually. The smoke goes down, but he decides to creep in. He wanted to take the first fight, but walked into the unknown and pays the price for it as they get the trade kill, upgrade to the AK, but even then, Stance, still only 3 Ts that remain versus the 4 on the side of North, and they've got the defense.
Good reposition here from MSL. I don't think Sicilian's going to be expecting it, considering that the Molotov came towards Green Train. And there you have it, 3 frag found for him, as he is more of a positional AWPer. Obviously, they said that Mertz had the skill, the aim, but it was the brain that he had the issue with, and maybe that's what MSL was wanting from the AWPer, more of a positional, supportive style AWPer. When you have your Kirby, your Valdes as your star players, now Nico as well on the rifle, so do you need that star-studded AWPer? That's the argument to be had. But 7-1 in a row by both teams. So now we get to an all-squared up lineup, 7-7. But only one team can have the 8th round at the half. As we go into round number 15, aggression towards below from MSL. Ooh, I haven't seen this peak from AWPer in maybe a year since Fallen, back in 2017, maybe even late 2016 used to go for that peak.
Yeah.
Very rare to see that now because of the risk versus reward. But it goes to show the confidence he has right now in this matchup versus his domestic rivals.
Yeah, very fast confidence peak starts. It's a different as well because MSL's been playing so slow. So the collective just plays, you know, those cheeky little off angles. He'll sit there. He's just going to wait for you to come towards him. Very defensive style of AWP. So adaptation coming through, realizing that he needs to switch things up and try and keep his opponents guessing. As they are all tied up. This one's for the advantage at the half. Who is going to get the 8th round? Give themselves a little bit of a benefit. Freiburg takes the fight against Kirby though, overpowers him as he'll cut him down by Ivy, and now they can swarm. They have 3 different angles of attack to bombard the A bomb site from, and you can see the CT starting to back off a little bit, trying to redraw into the fight though. Once Valde connects that shot on a Cillian, Freiburg and Mertz find a killer piece, and this is where the cracks start to show. The damage is already done. You wonder how long they can hold on. The bomb trying to go down. They will get it done. Valde plays around the smoke, but that is the super sub and Freiburg to find a killer piece. And now we have it with the additional round going the way of Heroic. That makes it an 8-7 scoreline. it was literally 7 rounds in a row, then 7 rounds in a row, and then a round.
Yeah, heroic. Win the half, 8-7. When it was 7-0, Jack, I thought we were going to be seeing maybe 11-4 or a 10-5. Obviously, yesterday, if you didn't see that game, Ents versus North on train, it was a 12-3 half from the terrorist side of Ents to obviously go on to close out that matchup. Now they've got the game later on versus Avant-Garde. So, yeah, I thought we were going to have more of that. Instead, MSL and the boys, they had a resurgence. Looked good. 7 rounds, 1 in a row, and that could have saved their map here on train.
Yeah, they looked a lot more alert, just adapting as well. That was the bigger picture, because MSL was playing so defensive. As soon as we saw that change of tempo, he was going for the aggressive AWP faces, was able to get the initial pick on the board. They could fall back, they could play that style of CS they wanted to, but it actually worked out for them. Then everything was just set to autopilot from there, really, and they kept it going. But now we do have it as an 8-7. The bigger picture is it's still a close affair. The pistol round will set a little bit of the scene, but this game could still go either way.
Yeah, obviously 8-7. It's not as if the pistol is massively pivotal for both teams. You know, if this was 11-4, would say it's a must-win pistol for North. Instead, they've actually looked good on their second half of the first half. You know, MSL on the AWP, very aggressive, very good at actually getting picks as well. We have to, you know, congratulate him on the fact that he got, what, 3 entry frags? I think 1 towards B upper, T main, had another one as well towards, gosh, I can't even remember. I think it was towards Ali when he pushed it. But apart from that, 3 opening kills with an AWP, that's very good. Usually, you're looking at 4 on average throughout the whole map of an AWP. So to get 3 in 1 half is obviously very good to start off with. And now on the T side, the only thing I want to see is MSL AWP on the T side. Yesterday, it was all AWP on the CT. 5 AKs on the T side, and they got exploited by Alu.
Yeah, that is very true. I wonder if we actually will see any kind of real structural change there, and if he's going to bring it out. Because you can see the confidence is there more on display in terms of aggression today. It's still the same style. It is defensive by default, but that is the way he uses the AWP. That's the way it fits into the structure of the team. T-side-wise, is he going to bring it out? Are we going to see something a little bit more flashy from MSL? Only time will tell. But as of right now, we're going to be diving back in with a pistol round. So, N-Sub, as the coach, arguably the least skilled player, well, the least skilled player on the team, going to be investing into utility. Have his main roster players wield the Kevlar. North, though, maybe going for the same approach that we saw from Heroic on their pistol, where they group up towards the B site, smoke towards the connector. Actually, no, they've only got a PT-50 dropped over to Valde. 1 Molotov for connector, I'd imagine, to deny the rotation, or used towards Heaven to deny the defuse. But apart from that, just flashes to work off. Oh, Asilian hasn't been spotted out just yet, but what he didn't realise is there was a man in the back line, Nico. He walks out, he's going to find him and put him into a shallow grave. Now there's just a couple of men left standing. They are going down rapidly as well, as Valde will pop off N-Sub. Just comes down to Freiburg, S-Tag and Mertz to try and hold on to this round, as North are looking pretty damn good right now. Stans, they've got the site control and they can build from this if they carry on. All they've got to do is just hold their angles. This retake starting to develop ever so slightly. Valde has been killed, but easy. A quick face and a quick death dealed out to Mertz. Freiburg, though, bounds into action, returns to form majorly, but he doesn't suspect the peek from Nico. Still holding the high angle. Nico, the main man there on the side of North. 3 critical frags that were found for him, and another round will go the way of North. That ties it up instantly to the 8-8 mark and projects North to actually get themselves a little bit of a lead now on the T side.
8-8, obviously Heroic are now on the favoured side, so if they do go down 10-8, if North win the conversion rounds here versus the Force Spy and the Eco following suit, they're not going to be too worried as of yet. So, early on, exchange definitely favouring the terrorist side team, as it's going to be a 4 versus 1. Mertz goes down to the MP5, Kiabi stacking up the cash. N-Sub now 1 versus 4. Actually, he's 11-11. He's gone...
dropping a Nutri bomb.
Yeah. Now it's a negative.
Yeah, now he's a negative
11 kills and 12 deaths. But as a coach, not playing many officials, probably not playing for a long, long time as well in an official matchup, holding his ground so far. Can't say the same for Mertz. Struggling right now into this one. Maybe the fact that there's so much pressure on him, obviously being removed from North, trying to prove a point. Maybe he's amped himself up too much for it. Maybe there's just too much on the line for him in terms of his pride, his ego, I don't know. Maybe that's why he's struggling to be informed, because he definitely did frag on North. That's one of the things you have to say. Definitely got his kills. The argument about should he have been removed, should have been switched up, is obviously an argument you can have for a while in terms of playstyle that maybe MSL wants to go for. Maybe he wants more of a supportive AWP that had more of a situational, positional awareness sort of style, instead of being very aim reliant, and rely instead more on your star players of Kiabi and Valde. But it's this one though. North is cleaning up versus the Eco, trying to see how effective they can have this round go in terms of their cash and avoid taking casualties.
They're doing a damn good job of it too, just holding their angles. 2 frags found with the SMG there on Kirby. So it is only Mertz that remains left in the 1 versus 5. Obviously just trying to do something, get spotted out and taken down quite brutally by Valde. So that is another round going the way of North. They get the 10th as we expected, and this is where the game begins anew. Heroic, they can rebuy out. You're going to be able to get those M4s in play. Mertz, he has 5k. Are we going to see an AWP? We do. We see the glass cannon AWP coming out, Snods.
The issue with the glass cannon AWP is hinders your aggression. We saw MSL going for the audacious peeks in towards T main from Blue Train, pushing towards B lower twice. Can't do that without the without Kevlar typically. If you do, it's a much more bigger risk. But anyway, this attack going to be caught going into the smoke there in towards Pop Dog. So a 5 versus 4 early on. The Molotov as well will not force back Mertz enough to where it blocks his vision. Question is though, does the coach expect the push here from AZ towards the B side?
Being pushed from all angles, Snods, and Mertz, he stayed alive for so long, just goes down. Kirby favouring the new MP5. He's going to be busting it out and rolling back the years as he just deals damage across the board. Everyone has been eliminated apart from Freiburg, trapped now between A1 and A2, and suspects the push will be coming towards him. Gets dinged so heavily as well. Kirby, the rate of fire, immense from the MP5, going to dink him down, leave him with just 40 HP as he still holds. He basically can't win the round from this point, but he can hope to try and salvage his weapon, but he isn't even going to be given that grace. Killed as the blood splatters against the wall, and North mark up another round on the tally, giving themselves an 11th. Possibly a 12th now as well, because Heroic, they don't have the cash nuts.
North doing exactly what Heroic did to them. Had the first part of their T side, winning the pistol, winning the first buy round, and gaining that 4-0, probably even 5-0 lead as well, potentially. So, AWP for MSL, and this is the adjustment I wanted to see, Jack. We saw no AWP on the T side from North over the course of 5 maps, and now we get to see it. Obviously, this is versus the pistol, so we can't look at it too intrinsically just yet. Just to see how he is going to start himself on the T side of Train. On the CT side, he's going to be aggressive. He's going to carry forward that aggression to the T side. He's going to go in towards Pop Dog, peek in towards Green Train, default. Is he going to go towards Ali, try and challenge Mertz, or challenge the Ali player there if he goes for a jiggle peek? Is he going to get aggressive in towards T main and challenge Mertz, playing towards Green Train, playing towards the default site? That's where time will tell all. As MSL going to be going towards B early on. Might go for the lower peak against the coach of Heroic.
Tempo has been dialed back ever so slightly though as they hold for the meantime. Oh, the tag comes through. Nearly just blew Nico to bits, but instead leaves him barely alive. 24 HP as there is going to be blood dripping behind him as he slowly encroaches down. Getting themselves set up to try and go for this late round play towards the B-bomb site. You have the 2 remaining members of North as well over by Ivy, but they're now backtracking. They're getting out of there. Freiburg trying to work out what's going on as he holds close, but the whole squad wants to link up and go for a big man play on the B site.
And if they do, Heroic have 2 players stationed here. But as I say that, Jack, Asilian goes fleeting back towards the A site. Paranoia, ooh, actually, indecisiveness. He's made the right call though. Goes towards connector, maybe even just smoked flash towards the A site. Come back now towards the grey train. The Molotov going to be thrown out just at the right time as the grenades are pinned. And here comes the push down run. Kiabi is the first victim, as the remaining players have to go through now after the Molotov does fade.
Yeah, Comes the push, they charge their way in. Valde gets the flick up headshot, Nico as well. Damage done with the AWP, but Asilian, he has other ideas in mind. Single-handedly deals with both of the men as he carries on, ready to just unload upon anyone that dares to defy him. It's just MSL on 2 HP and AZ that are left alive, and they're not in a great spot either. It's going to be awkward for them, but AZ tries his damnedest as he carries on. MSL finished off completely now. A 1v2 for AZ. He has the Molotov. He will launch it out. There is no smoke in the inventory of the heroic players. They have to wait for that Molotov to fade before they jump on it, Snod. So AZ realizes it's just a matter of time if he can delay it for a little bit longer, but he couldn't quite get them off the bomb. Mertz will find the flick with the AWP as well, and heroic get that round.
If only MSL didn't shoot on the pre-fire towards the default site, Freiburg may have gone down there. Heroic, though, win their first buy round and get to 9 on the board. 5 AK buy now from North. MSL not going to be using the AWP into this round. AWP, though, picked up for Mertz on 5 kills. He's been struggling so far on Train, and on a map like Train, notorious and always spoke about the impact the AWP can have on this map, but so far managed to get a frag towards upper, but still it's getting so awkward for both these teams.
Yeah, very messy round, but the aggression is definitely the key point here, Snots, is they're just playing quite frivolously. They're just running in and trying to deal damage straight up. As of now, you've only got 2 players left on the CT side, just Asilian and S-Tag, and it seems like the call has been made to throw in the towel. Just carry it through for another day if possible, as they will back off and go for the save. That is going to be a 13th round picked up for North, and they are storming ahead in quite a commanding fashion.
13-9. That's going to be the reset. And that could be GG as well. Esatag and Asilian going to be saving their weaponry at least. So the reset's here, and it's going to reflect when you see the buy coming out from Heroic. 2.4k from Esatag, so we can drop over a FAMAS at best, maybe even go for a scout and then buy a Molotov or something. Even then, it's not looking good. MP5 dropped over to Mertz. So, AWP in the hands now from MSL. Able to pick that up off of the corpse of his former teammate Mertz. FAMAS dropped over by Esatag to Freiburg. UMP, MP5 for Ensub and Mertz. So the buys are looking good here for Heroic. The tempo all in North's favor. So far as well on their T side, they've won 6 out of 7 rounds being played. So they're the ones with the wind behind their sails. But Esatag rotates in towards the B side. Once again, we see Heroic have 2 players stationed here. But even in that last round, it still wasn't enough. Ooh, the little head and shoulders play towards Pop Dog. Going to be granting Kiabi the entry, but Mertz, no flashbang, goes for the peak. Emphasis on no flashbang.
He's confident. I mean, you can give him that at least, but curiosity is what killed the cat, and confidence is what killed the Mertz. So, North going to be sending out AZ towards Heaven. Take that 1 versus 1 against Ensub with the UMP towards the B site. Even then, MSL able to wreak havoc towards A. And that 1 versus 1 towards B is completely futile. AZ trying to get that kill if possible. Ensub does find his way into connector just before he gets spotted out, but in reality, there's nothing you can do anyway. Maybe you get a little bit lucky. We see Nico push in here. He gets the kill with the UMP in close proximity, but he gets pushed from the left-hand side, wasn't prepared, and AZ will do him in with the AK. That's the 14th round picked up for North. 1 away from, at the very least, overtime. 2 away from the win here on the first map. And Heroic's economy has gone right out the window. The stock market has crashed. They've jumped out of a window, Snods. They've been left absolutely broken.
It's quite dramatic.
It was quite a dramatic affair, mate.
Well, no, our stocks crashed.
Yeah. It was a terrible time for everyone.
Not unless you shorted the market on the housing bonds. You made a lot of money. Anyway, who's making a lot of money right now? It's Valde. Nico as well to get a few $100 in his bank balance. Ooh, Esatag with 1 kill, but that probably will be the sole kill here for Heroic, as it's now match point for North, 15-9. Round number 25 then, 6 match points for North to work with. So, considering this is the map pick from Heroic, considering Heroic was 7-0 up as well at this point, it's looking like it's shaping up to be the 2-0 in favor of North, especially when you consider that Inferno's next.
You can't help but wonder as well, obviously, unfortunately, with Molly not being able to be here, if there would have been a difference. Ensub, to be fair to him, has had, you know, not the worst game. He's actually been pretty useful, especially on that first half. He was doing quite a lot of damage and being a very effective member of the squad. As of right now, though, Snods, we fall into what could be the final round of the half, and it seems like it is likely going to go that way as well, as Kirby is just battering them. He's already found 2 kills, and you can't imagine he's going to be ended just yet. This man loves the bloodlust. As the damage carries on, AZ finds that headshot on Esatag. It's up to Freiburg and ends up to clutch it out if possible. To save Heroic from a lifeline and give them possibly at least another round to carry on fighting. But North, they want to end it right here, right now, as they creep out, trying to poach towards the A-bomb site. Freiburg gets closer and closer, but he doesn't realize it was towards his own demise, as Kirby was lying in wait there the entire time and strikes against him. Ensub gets 1 kill, but it's all down to him, and the whole game comes crashing down as he's killed by Valde. That is the win for North. Heroic, 7 rounds on the trot. Looked like they were going to play this game flawlessly, Snods. They were dominating. We then saw 7 rounds for North. They got the final round of the half on Heroic, and then that was it. It was just a whitewash. North had had enough from that point. Second half, they blew them away.
Yeah, essentially. As you said, 7-0 lead for Heroic. They win the pistol. They win the first 2 buy rounds. They've, you know, basically destroyed the money for North. They had to force buy, quasi-buy, constantly on pistols, and even then, with the 7-0 lead on your T side of train, on your map pick as well, they couldn't quite get it done. And they got their coach in for Modi, and Modi was a very good player for Heroic yesterday in the match we saw versus for Lions. You know, they're lacking a player that means a lot to them in terms of the team chemistry. He's been on that roster for so long. And actually, when I think about it, I'm trying to have a think here. He might even be the longest standing member on the team as of now, because you've got Freiburg, Asilian, Esatag, all these newer players that have come into the team, Mertz as well. So yeah, he is the longest standing member, and now that he's out of the team, it's a fresh bunch.
Yeah, he was the support beam of Heroic, and obviously without him there, things haven't gone well for the side. But can they redeem themselves? It's a best of 3. That is the first map that has been wrapped up. There is still more to come. Keep it locked as we'll be carrying on this best of 3 after the break.